So welcome to COMP3218 Game Design and Development. Today is our Let's Play for Batch 7. I'm Adrian Chapman. I'm a lecturer on the module, and with me today is...
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Rimington. I'm a demonstrator on the course and here to help with the playing and the marking element. The game designers were given a brief for this coursework. The brief was to develop a short game prototype where they demonstrate a core dynamic. They should have designed and presented the dynamic and its relevant mechanics in a tutorial level to teach the player how to interact with the game.
Excellent. Let's go to our first game. So,
okay.
First game is Gravitational Pull, huh?
It is, and this is, so we've got our main menu here. I believe you can't quite hear it, but I can. There is, in fact, a good deal of sound happening. There is a... it's got a kind of spacey sound going on, and then when things are hitting the planet, there are explosions and whatnot.
Excellent.
So we've got our menu here. We've got play, we've got levels, and obviously quit. So yeah, we've got a tutorial we can start with, and we've got some high scoring here. And
because we haven't done that tutorial.
Well, indeed. So we can start with our tutorial. We've got a number of scores, I guess, to hit. So let's see how this goes. Okay, I use my mouse to look around, and clicking to shoot. There's good exploding sounds as you hit.
Good. Oh,
right.
Now you get to move.
To move. Okay, WASD to move about.
It's very clear.
It is very clear, and it's kind of interesting though, because you sort of move about, and you also move your perspective. So there's a bit of like a range in front of you, and you can move up, down, left, right. Oh boy, here comes gravity.
So you had was that a double hit needed, or was that you just rolled?
I missed, and I'm not sure if and I think I missed because of gravity. So I think the same thing's going to happen. Oh no, I managed it that time. Good for me.
Good for you.
If I shoot, yeah, it curves around the planet.
Yeah.
Because of the magic of gravity. So I think the first time in the last tutorial level where I shot at the thing and missed, it was because gravity curved it slightly away from the target. Oh, similarly there. Oh no, space. Asteroids.
You're counting down how much ammunition you have. So far, we're not in any danger of running out.
Well, that's good. I was surprised I managed to hit that target. It seemed far right. Okay.
Asteroids gives powers?
Asteroids gives powers. What kind of powers? Let's find out. There's a little blue 3 next to my rockets at the bottom there.
Did you just shoot the planet?
I did. I mean, there's the trees are on fire now, which I don't think is ideal. But it does have, it has a target on it, so I kind of managed it.
Just blow up the planet?
Apparently so.
Wow.
I'm not sure what...
I think you had mass genocide in you there.
Hey, no one said it was an inhabited planet.
That's true.
I'm not sure what the... Okay, so we've got... Oh, I see. We've got yellow targets. Whoops. And that's what I haven't hit there.
Well done.
I'm enjoying my curving, the way it's curved there. There we go. I've managed to hit that one. What about you?
The sun's going to give a big effect. Go right.
Yeah, right. There it goes. Whoosh. Okay. What power does that give me? Because I've shot a special... Nope. If I aim much to the right. Nope.
Way to the right. Yeah.
Way to the right.
Okay, try that.
Nope. I'm not sure what power-ups those are giving me, I have to say, but I am trying to get those power-ups.
I could tell.
There we go.
Well done.
Yeah.
And there's a little one under your ammunition inventory.
There is. That is, I think, my my special powered-up ammunition.
Oh, this is like a jet with blue flame coming out.
Yeah, I think I want to shoot him, and I want to shoot. Aha! Take that, planet. And now the planet.
Are they really supposed to be killing the planet? Do you think?
I mean, they've got a target on them. So if they didn't want to be shot, they shouldn't have had a target on them.
That's right. I mean, clear indication.
Okay, got that level. Sweet.
And you did get a high score, so yeah, killed the planet.
Apparently, yeah. Okay, so we've got a big sun, so watch out for that gravity.
Yeah. Are those mines or those planets? Like, what are those things? They look like...
Yeah, I think... oh, well, I'm going to get my blue meteor here. Yeah, there we go. It's powered up something, like there are arrows... When that happens, the blue 3 shows up and there are little arrows, so something is happening.
Yeah. But it's definitely unclear exactly what.
Yeah. Interesting. One moment, there we go. Okay. If I shoot, so these planets are throwing off a lot of my gravitational aiming. So,
yes.
What if I just shoot them? If I just get them out of the way, then, oh, that's hard too. Oh no. Yeah! Oh. Not enough.
There's an asteroid coming. You've only got 13 pieces of munition left.
I do. It's very stressful. Oh, there's another blue thing coming, blue asteroid, so I'm going to try and get that. This is as far left as I can go.
So, while you keep aiming and shooting, I'm actually going to start walking through the marking criteria.
Cool.
And we're going to start with quality and talking about presentation first. So presentation is the graphic, audio, and information design. Graphics are actually really cute. I like how they play together. They're neat. They're clear. Sometimes in games, particularly some of the space games, I struggle to kind of track where objects are or see them. And this one, I find it's visually appealing and, effective.
I agree. Oh, and that gave me a +3 ammo. There we go. It did actually tell me it was ammo that time, which was nice. That's cool.
Yeah, that is really, yeah. And tell me some more about the audio that you're hearing.
The audio is, it works quite well. It's got a slightly techno-y sound. It's kind of spacey. It's got an empty hood in the background. I don't know what that noise was. But it does sound spacey and slightly nice bit of tension in there, and the explosion sounds the explosion feedback is pretty instantaneous. And when something double explodes, it makes double explosion sounds. It's very effective. The gun also makes a noise when it goes off, and that combined with the fact that it sort of does an animation as it shoots is very satisfying.
Yes.
That's nice feedback there.
Good. So I think actually, I mean, we've got some really like professional graphics and audio in this case. Information design. So there's some really good pieces of information design on this, right? We see the level, we know our score, we know a high score for this level, although it's the first time playing through. We know how many targets that we are aiming for and how many have already been taken out of both types, the big red and the funky yellow. We know how much munition we have. And the only thing I think we are missing real knowledge about is what does the power-up do?
Yeah, the power-ups are a little confusing, and I'm now aware that I've run out of ammo, but it doesn't stop. It's just you can't really play anymore.
Oh, so sad when you can't play anymore.
It is.
Hey, wait, something just blew up. You didn't do that.
That was two asteroids colliding. And that's another nice thing. When asteroids collide, they explode.
Nice. Right, so I think maybe you have to just go restart now, or no back button either, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Or restart, right? Yeah. So I think in general it's good, except for these kind of minor things that we're seeing right now. So let's talk a little bit about meaningful play. So meaningful play includes the mechanics, controls, and bugs. You were actually saying that the controls are interesting because you've got both movement and a range with the mouse, so the WASD and the mouse. Are you finding them enjoyable? Are they, moving and tracking you would expect?
The mouse interaction is very satisfying. The dot where you can aim feels very clear, and that combined with the movement of gravity is great. The sort of invisible limitations of the WASD is a little frustrating, because you can only get to a certain level of up, down, left, right, but where that is and what those limits are isn't really communicated before you hit them. But that's kind of minor. Otherwise, the satisfaction of like mouse pointing is pretty strong. Actually, it's very. It feels right.
Good. So in this case, the controls are usable, possibly even smooth controls in this case. Okay. Let's talk about the mechanics that we're seeing in the game. So you get to aim and fire. You get to choose whether you're aiming after an asteroid that will give you a power-up, or a planet, or a spaceship.
Or a spaceship, yes.
Yes. I'm not sure, because I've been watching the score, but I'm not well enough to know, like, are there different points on spaceships versus asteroids? The asteroids give you a power-up, but are there, if you kill a planet, does it give you more points? I haven't noticed that yet.
I'm going to reload the game to play again, and so in case there's a bump here, that's what's happening.
So there's some question around, while you're reloading, around kind of the breadth of the mechanics, right? So you can shoot. You can choose what type of thing to shoot at. So I would say these are kind of, it's playable, but there's fewer mechanics. I think that except for this kind of restart, there has not necessarily been a bug of any sort.
Yeah. Apart from the game sort of not ending when I ran out of fuel that time.
You just check that we are indeed recording the restart.
Yes, I will do that.
Looking good. Excellent.
It does seem that we are still going.
Beautiful. Let's keep on moving then. So okay, I think in this case,
let's check out these levels.
Yep.
Yeah, we've finished level 1 with a high score, and that has stayed. That's retained that scoring, which is nice. And we've got level 2 unlocked. So
yep, that's where you were, isn't it? Okay, so I think in this case we've got fewer mechanics, but the controls are smooth and usable, and does not necessarily have any bugs. So I think we're going there. But I think at this point, when we kind of move forward, we're talking about fulfilling the brief. So let's talk a little bit about, within level design, kind of that goals, risks, reward. And this is actually where I think we might be seeing a bit of a problem. So let's go back to those mechanics, which are shoot something and choose which to shoot. Getting a power up, or just shooting a spaceship or a planet.
So I'm aiming for the spaceship, with the idea that perhaps the red ones are more important. Nope. And that was kind of limited in where I could aim follow that asteroid, so that's a little frustrating. But yeah, so I'm trying to get for this red thing, and I think that's probably the nice a point of balance of the aims, risks, rewards, is the balancing the power-ups and the asteroids. I feel like there is more of it as well in whether you're aiming for the red bull's eyes or the yellow ones, but I haven't quite figured out the value payoff there.
Yes, yes. We're definitely seeing that there is this trade-off between kind of and it's riskier, right? So in this case, the sun, I have a feeling you're right. The red ones are probably more high valued, but they are somewhat harder to get to. They're closer to the sun. So maybe you're blowing ammunition and it'd be easier or better to go for the...
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, at last.
Well done.
Thank you.
You got 30 points on that.
Yeah, and I've only got 12, and I've only got 12 bullets left.
Can you go for a yellow...
Yeah, let's see if I can get this yellow. I don't think I'm going to do very well at that. Nope. Did I get it? Yes, I did, and it gave me 50 points.
Okay, well, actually, there went our opinion that reds are worth more than yellows.
I think because yellows are rotating on a planet, they're more difficult to get, so... Nope.
Yeah. Yellows are the hard ones now. So I think the idea is here that there is this kind of balance between munition and what you're aiming for and how hard it is to hit them. I'm not sure that we truly understand them yet. Like, I'm not sure they're clear. So it's coherent. I'm not sure that it's clear, is where I think I'm at on this one. So, how about pacing? How do we feel the game is progressing in terms of pacing?
So, when we started, there was a definite sweet explosions kind of sensation with a heavy sort of feeling of destruction joy. But with the limited ammunition and the difficulty of aiming and sort of taking the time to line up stuff, it does mean the pacing slows, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it does make it more of a cerebral than a destroying kind of experience.
In this case, each of the levels are getting more, so there are more targets. There's the sun and planets, so there's different types of gravity going on. So in that case, there's definitely a tension rising there, but you're quite right that the feeling between the tutorial and what was joyful in that versus what's the gameplay is actually different, isn't it?
It does seem that was a little bug earlier, that when it didn't record, when it didn't notice that I'd run out of ammunition, because this time it has noticed and it's told me, game over, here's the targets. And they're bonus targets remaining, so I can retry.
Okay. So in this case, I actually feel like within the game, the tension is clearly rising over time in a coherent pattern. But I think you're right that the style of tension is varied, or there's a variation in terms of the tension between the tutorial and the rest of the game. So we're going to come down kind of between those two. If we look at the tutorial level itself while we're here, perhaps, well, you're doing really well. I don't want to make you end the game or go back to the tutorial level.
I'm finally making some progress. I don't think I can end during a thing, but I can waste my ammo to reload the tutorial for sure.
Does it feel good?
It kind of does. I'm not going to lie. Just absolutely throwing those cubes into space is pretty great. Oh, whoops. Sorry, that's immediately gone straight to level 2, which makes sense from a gameplay perspective.
It does. It does.
But is it doesn't restart from the beginning, which is good, but not what I was aiming for.
You just really wanted to shoot more cubes into space.
I am just throwing these cubes right into space. Take that, cube planet. There we go. Main menu. This time I've got it. So let's talk tutorial.
Yeah. So, fire, good. Amazing.
Aim to fire, click to fire, makes perfect sense. It's right in front of you. It's what you want. Great.
Oh, now you have to WASD to get something in scope, don't
Indeed,
you?
yeah. So this is as far as I can go to the left, as far as I can go to the right, and if I wiggle myself over here to the left.
Great. So we've learned that.
I can go up. And it is starting to show me as well in the top left that there are two bullseyes, and there's two targets. One target not there's the other target, so they're both complete, which is nice as well.
You have 99 pieces of ammo, so you can just keep shooting off into the world there without any worry that you're going to get stuck.
It's true, definitely plenty of ammo for this. So this one's gravity.
Yeah. So this is going to learn, isn't it? About.
So if I shoot straight at this target, perhaps it will miss, and indeed it does, because it's curved towards the planet. So that's good too. Go like this. Nice. Target on the planet.
This is where we get the target on the planet. Yes, I see.
And that shows there on the top left as well that it was a yellow target.
Yes. And to be honest, I think we saw the score 50 here. So if we'd been paying a little more
attention. So if we'd been paying attention, we would have known. And then that curves around there. Oh dear, not fair enough. Bravo. Oh, and it's do you know what else it demonstrated there? That the targets on the planet are bonus targets. Because I only shot one of them, it demonstrated that there were two because there were two available, and it finished the level when I hadn't shot the second one.
Yes.
So let's see what these power-ups do now. So that I gotta say, that's still kind of unclear to me.
Oh, yeah, that's still a very unclear piece.
Unless it's now that I've shot those, I can reach this target, and I couldn't before.
To just do a little cheating and just take a little quick look in the game notes while you keep trying.
Go for it. So yes. I'm shooting at this target that's in the distance. I'm not hitting it. It's flying either over or under, which is fine. And what I can do. So now what I'm going to do is when that next asteroid comes past, I'm going to shoot it, get the power up, and see if it helps me with, for example, distance shooting.
I see.
Yeah, there we go. Yes.
The ability to retrieve power-ups increases the player's ability by allowing them to destroy entire objects without hitting all child targets. So basically, like those spaceships that have, 3 targets and you have to hit all 3 and then it blows up.
Ah.
If you hit it with a power-up, you don't have to hit all of them.
So if I presumably if I then manage to get this. Just going to get some more of these boys. Just need to wait for another target to roll around, and then presumably that will mean I can explode the whole planet just by hitting one target.
Hopefully.
There's still a spaceship behind it as well.
There is, which you can't actually.
Which I can't currently see because planet in the way. Unless I curve it around there. Nope. Come on. Quite. There we go.
Hey, you did it. There you go. Oh, yep.
Okay, and here's our proper level 1. Okay, now this makes more sense now with the risk rewards, because I can either wait for a handy asteroid to come by and aim for that.
Yes.
Do that. And now hopefully if I hit this planet, it will hit this. Oh, no. Yeah, then it should. Oh, it didn't take out the whole thing. Oh, that was an extra ammo asteroid, not a full explosion asteroid. And that was demonstrated by the fact that it didn't have a red circle around it. And when I got it said more ammo, not that. Oh, here we go. Let's try this. Yeah, got it.
Actually, given that we've now kind of replayed that tutorial, we have a little bit more information around what we've learned and paid attention. I think I'm actually going to kind of increase their.
Yeah, I think that's fair, because it was really sometimes players don't pay attention, and that's the way of things. But they absolutely have given us that information if you're willing to pay attention and get it.
So I think in this case they very clearly have clear and coherent set of goals, risks, and rewards, and you can balance them between. I'm good. That's great.
Sure. And then, so what was their core dynamic for this game?
Oh, hang on. Let's do the tutorial first. Yeah, we were skipping ahead a little bit because we haven't really talked about this. Well, we replayed the tutorial. Mm-hmm. So I think we're very much at a gradual explanation of gameplay and controls that's fully aligned with play.
Mm-hmm. I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the question. Yeah, go.
It's kind of separated from the true sort of game progression, but it is all through play, which I'm very happy about. There's not a wall of text. There's not a lot to plow through. It's very much through play you learn.
Yes, agreed. And I think we don't. I don't think we quite make it up into the next category for exactly what you were saying earlier. That kind of feeling of joy of like boom, 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 and then now it suddenly becomes in the tutorial levels a more strategy, aiming, thinking about this kind of game because of that limitation of ammo. It's not quite through level design itself. Like there's just some slight tension between the tutorial and the other levels. But I think really a gradual explanation of gameplay fully aligned with play. Mm-hmm. So, core dynamic. What do you think is the core dynamic? Playing this.
Personally, because of how I'm spending time, working out how I'm going to angle things, and I'm going to angle this, and I spend a fair amount of time sitting here thinking about how I'm going to compensate for gravitational direction and then re-aiming and whatnot. I think spatial reasoning.
You know what? I agree with you completely for exactly that reason. Now, go back in your mind and play the tutorial, and just the tutorial, and what would you think that
destruction?
Yeah, exactly. So this crew definitely felt that their core dynamic was destruction, and I think this is one of these places where we do have a tension between what's really going on in the game. So I think a few pieces that kind of lean me more towards the spatial reasoning within the key game itself is just as you were saying, that you are reasoning through how you're aiming, you're re-aiming, you're very carefully considering the space in which you're occupied, and that limitation on your munition. Yeah. Even though there are these power-ups where you can get more back, there is a limitation there, and you can't just with joy blanket space with bombs.
I do think that destruction is a very powerful supporting dynamic here. I will say that, because the satisfaction and payoff when the thing explodes and disappears off the screen, they're very high.
Yeah, absolutely. And think about, though, when we were playing the tutorial level, when we had absolutely unlimited ammo. You were having so much fun. I'm just shooting off the bombs and and watching how they curved, and it was fine that you didn't hit it all the time. It was still satisfying. So I think in that case, there is an attempt at a core dynamic, but I'm not sure that it's fully supported. Like, it's partially supported by those mechanics, but it's not fully supported.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
All right, so while you keep playing, I'm going to go look at the feedback. So as part of all of the games, they have to create part of the game and then get feedback from the module team. And then they have to tell us what feedback they got and what they did about it. So the feedback they were given was to avoid striding to mechanics that don't impact the current mechanics. They ensured that each mechanic that they added had some effect on another part of the game. So for the example, the asteroid system, they did it to have an alternative strategy to destroy existing targets, which I think is a great job on that one. They did really well. The second part of the feedback that they got was that they were told to think about the decisions the player can make, so that there's plenty of choice, and that each choice allows you to complete the level in a viable way. So for that, they were thinking about their level design and how a player would make different choices. We tried to make each choice as viable as the others. We recognize that firing at asteroids to deflect it at targets has an increased accuracy that isn't affected by gravity. Therefore, in our design, we would purposely make targets that are less accessible to asteroids due to planets being in the way. This would incentivize the player to choose an alternate strategy. The power-up strategy, balancing the rarity of the power-ups, changes, good, rarity, scarcity, and utility need to go in parallel. So they did make some thinking, or they did put some thinking into how much. And I do think at this point is you're down to 0 munition.
And I think it's on level 2 that it has this bug.
Has a bit of a bug with this one. Yeah,
it's okay.
But more, it's okay. More than that, I think the player could still have these types of choices with almost unlimited munition. Really.
Yeah.
Right. The final piece of feedback was related to the goals of the game, where the player was trying to get to the end. The feedback inspired us to have progressive levels and a final level with a mothership and a large home planet to show the progression of destroying the fleet.
Ooh.
So this is thoughts about pacing. Have we ever gotten to the final level?
We have not. I've gotten stuck on level 2 and run out of ammunition, and unfortunately then had because of the bug, I haven't been bold enough to quit out every single time in case it kills the recording. Yeah. So I think this is one of the problems with games, because we only have so much time to spend on each game, and at this point we have hit our limit. So I'm actually going to say that I think they sought feedback, they have made changes, and I actually think those changes that we have seen have been successful. Yeah. I think overall there's a lot of really successful game design elements in this game, and they've clearly worked. They've clearly developed the idea in interesting ways through feedback and through iterative design.
So great job, folks, and let's move on to our next game.
Great job, everybody. Okay, so we're on to our next game, which is called Vertex Rush. Now, before I start playing, I want to tell you that the sound happening in here is a fun kind of slightly spacey, quite modern, sort of almost heavy metal sound with like a song. It feels like a kind of futuristic almost. Which is it's intense, but it's certainly effective. Like, it feels very pacey. I feel like I'm going to play like a pacey, quite enjoyable. So yeah, let's try and crack on with the tutorial.
Let's do it. I think to start the tutorial, let's be reasonable and sensible now.
Okay, mouse to look around. Ooh. Okay, now start the music. The music now is a bit more chill, which is nice. Okay, use WASD, use the WASD to move, and spacebar to jump. Okay, so I'm on a smooth, flat thing. The mouse reactivity is very high, like it's like whoosh. Big jump. And I'm out. Lovely. Okay. Hold shift to perform near a wall to perform a wall run. Faster moving, further you will go. You can jump off walls too. Okay.
You know what? I am so glad you are driving. I will admit that these types of graphics are the ones that I give me a bit of a headache. So I'm glad you're really focused on this one.
Now I gotta tell you, H, I played this during the Games Expo. I had a good time playing it for sure. I did not do well, and there is going to be a lot of falling off walls.
Well, better you than me.
Yeah, it is, and it's definitely, as you say, it's kind of vertiginous because you go from space, because you're jumping, and you're changing kind of directions, and you're jumping off things, and wherever you point your mouse, that's the direction you go. So if you're not sort of pointing yourself correctly, you fall off the wall. There we go. Made it that time. Hold right click while midair to glide. where you are looking controls where you will go. Okay, it surely does. Okay, let's see about this whole gliding mechanic. Oh, that is very satisfying, and I enjoy this to reset the level priority time that sort of appears as you come out. The glide mechanic is very satisfying.
Right then.
Okay. Oh, there's a nice bit of pacing. Is that now that I've come to the first real level, not only do I have a timer at the top of the screen, and the time starts when you pass this text, but the music is now ramped up in intensity as well. It sounds a little bit like the opening riff from Rain in Blood by Slayer.
There's a lot of text hanging out in the black here. So
this fast sticking out. Yeah, I sort of have to look behind myself to check that.
Okay.
Jump exactly as you start a wall run to boost off the wall and gain huge height. Flight begins with a boost, so use it to move quickly. Okay, let's go!
Go!
There's a lot of fun paths I can immediately see through here, which I think is quite cool. Slightly overwhelming, but cool because, fall through space at any moment. I'm in space. Run!
Run!
Okay, I kind of fell into space a bit there, but that's okay because I have a glide mechanic.
Well done. Well played.
I actually really like these platforms in space kind of look and feel. It is a bit like being in oh no! I'm
just fall off.
I did. I wonder if I can get back by judicious use of the glide mechanic. Oh no, I cannot. It's nice that it reloads me to start really quickly as well. I will when I come through, I will hit R and see if I can reset to get myself to a different thing. There's kind of a fun spacey Tron vibe happening here. Okay, let me hit reset and see if it does reset. It does. It kind of bugged a little bit there to do it, but it absolutely did reset.
Yeah.
Let's try a different route this time.
Right. Well, you keep trying to get over this route. I'm going to start with some of our marking criteria. So we're going to start back again with a presentation around graphics, audio, and information design. The graphics are simplistic, but I think very effective. It's exactly what they need in order to kind of give both perception, depth, and for you to feel like you're jumping through space. You have sung the praises of the audio. Are there also kind of sound effects going on, or is it just the audio?
There are sound effects. As I use my glide, for example, it makes a sort of kind of a sort of air vent rocket noise, as if I were, using a piston of some sort to press forward, which is quite good. You can hear footsteps. There's footsteps as you run around. Your own footsteps on the walls and so on. So that is effective too.
And information design
again, simplistic, but it works.
Yeah. And in fact, I think it's
got through that bit. I usually fail that jump. It's quite high.
Yeah, you were talking. That's why you weren't thinking about it too hard.
Well, I failed that one.
So between the graphics and the audio, it's complete and very effective for what it is. Information design, we obviously have this timer. It's very clearly telling us what we need to worry about. I think that's absolutely effective.
And I like the fact that I can fall off things, and although it is immediately quite spooky because you've fallen through space, I like that you can then re-navigate your way up to through the space again, back onto platforms. Although I feel like I'm probably definitely not routing this in the way that the designers intended or visualized, but I'm certainly exploring the space. In fact, I think when I played it in the Game Expo, they said, anytime, if you could finish it in basically any time under a couple of minutes, you'll hit the leaderboard. And then I was there playing this level that everybody else finished in a couple of minutes. It took me about 5 minutes.
It's okay if you don't make the leaderboard.
Yeah, I don't really play sort of. I don't play a lot of FPS. It's quite novel to me, but as I say, have a lot of fun.
Excellent. Let's talk about the mechanics we're seeing in this game. So you can run, glide, jump, and you can choose your path. Like, so there's some mechanics in terms of like they're slightly different paths with different walls and ground. Are we missing any other mechanics in this?
I don't think we are missing any mechanics. Some of the jumping and movement feels a bit floaty, but that's kind of fine because you're in space.
Yes.
The running off walls does, no matter what I do, always feel a little clunky to me. Because there's just something about the momentum, and it's because they have mentioned to me, or in talking and playing through it, it's because you can reach different kinds of speeds or heights from jumping off walls. You can see up there's a platform that theoretically I could get to if I wall ran this just right. But it's never. But I think because there's just something a little unintuitive about it. But otherwise, there's a lot of it that is very smooth, such as that was me trying to do a fancy wall run there and absolutely failing. And there is a lot of it that is very smooth and very satisfying. In particular, love the glide with the speed boost.
So I'm basically seeing that there's kind of fewer mechanics, but they're usable controls, and that's seems like we're in the clear category right there. And I haven't seen any bugs yet at all, actually.
No, yeah, nope. No bugs.
Nope.
The only that's tiny thing in that if you hit R, you have to hit R twice to restart the level.
Right.
But
I won't.
That's so minor.
We'll just disregard that. Let's talk about the goals, risks, and rewards in this game. So obviously the goal is get to the end within a certain amount of time. There are risks inherent in the path you choose and your ability to actually execute the mechanics in the right order. The reward is presumably faster times for those who wall jump.
For those who can manage such things.
Yeah, totally not me either, just so you know. You're not alone with this one. I'm so grateful you are driving. So I actually think that we're very clearly in a sort of clear and coherent set of risks, goals, and rewards. Go back to that pacing. We're at pacing. I'm so sorry. Definitely.
Tutorial level?
Well, yeah, maybe we talked about tutorial level, and so there is definitely a jump between the tutorial level and this particular level.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Watch me fall through space. I think I need to actively try and finish this level properly so that I can go back so I can look at the leaderboard and get back to that tutorial level.
Sure.
I'm not sure I can quit out and return to it.
That's okay. If anything, what we can do is you keep playing and I'll just kind of move along in different parts of the so we can talk about actually the core dynamics of this game. So what do we think what would you say the core dynamics of this game are?
Surely perhaps for me, I think we could make an argument, I think, for something like spatial reasoning, but ultimately I think this is probably a race to the end.
I think so too. And indeed they think it is a race to the end. So great job. For them identifying the key. They do go on a little bit about how, multiple dynamics, collection. I'm not seeing collection.
No, I haven't collected a thing.
There is that
I've collected space, I guess. I've collected time.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, so originally they had my fault. It was the original plan was it was going to have collection, spatial reason, and race to the end. But after feedback, they narrowed it to a core dynamic as they were expected to in the brief.
I think that was a good move.
I do too.
Because it has made this very satisfying in terms of I want to get this thing and I want to do it fast. The fact that I'm failing at it should not make them think that they haven't achieved that feeling.
Yeah, and really, I mean, all of the bits of information that are out there between that timer and the leaderboard all point to race to the end as quickly as possible. Yeah. So I think basically it's a clear core dynamic that is supported by the primary mechanics without doubt. Okay.
Yep.
Easy to do. So while you keep playing on this level, we're going to go and look at the feedback. So we actually talked a little bit about that first feedback, because originally they had multiple dynamics. And they were told to have a core dynamic. So good job listening to that one. They also decided that all abilities would be unlocked from the start. So the player will not know how to use them initially, and that the challenge level would be possible to complete in many ways instead of just a puzzle with a single solution. So I think that's a really good bit of feedback or good solution, because if there is a puzzle with only one solution, that really does start getting us towards spatial reasoning, doesn't it?
I made it!
Yeah.
Yes!
Good job! Yay!
So I'm enjoying the way
Hey,
that
Bob,
they've moved these names into the leaderboard as well. That's cool.
Yeah.
Bob 2 is very slightly ahead of Bob 1.
So
I'm not that Bob. That's a preloaded Bob that came with.
Yeah. Let's do it again.
Should we go to the tutorial?
I want to see the tutorial one more time now that we've played a little bit, and just because we want to talk through between the pacing and the tutorial design. So let's do tutorial design as we go first. So use the mouse to look around. We are very clearly being told what to do here, and yeah, okay.
Strong
as we look
start,
around,
you wake up, around you go, you can do the thing. Strong start.
use the space bar to jump. Why would I bother jumping right now? Why are you? I mean, they told you to do it, so you're kind of conforming.
So what? Yeah.
Why would I jump?
I do think that the WASD to move comes first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, now I come to gap, spacebar.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that you have to use the mouse to look around to see the following instructions and see your end goal, which is this bright green thing, which is kind of abstract as an end goal place to go, but it makes sense and it does work.
Yeah.
Whee! So yeah, that makes sense to me.
Now we've got a
now we get quite a lot of text here.
Oof.
Hold shift near a wall to perform a wall run. The faster you're moving, the further you will go. And then jump. Cool. Now I can run straight into this and find that it's a red wall. Cannot pass. And that means that I have to use this wall to move around, and then I have to jump off it in order to reach this platform here. If I were to... Oh no, I'm getting too clever. I was getting too clever with it. Oh, into space with me. I'm back.
Originally I really disliked the text in space. However, the one part I am enjoying about it is when you before you hit there, turn back. Yep. It provides a spatial, it's both backwards and it provides you a little bit of a spatial clue as well as just walls.
I don't mind the fact that it's hanging in space, I have to say, at all. I find that quite interesting. But I'm kind of with you in that it doesn't feel like it's gone much beyond like sort of the default text. So it's a little bit in terms of sort of presentation. It's not particularly beautiful, but it is effective, I think, and it kind of makes sense with the whole game's everything suspended in space, general energy.
Yep. So the question becomes: we're somewhere between. Hold right click. Okay, good. So we're somewhere between gradual explanation of gameplay and controls, somewhat aligned with play, and gradual explanation of gameplay and controls fully aligned with play.
So I feel like the reason that reset level is there is because I have now completely missed this. I'm flying it through space. Away I go, and it does do it automatically. But I could also hit R to be like, okay, now I need to restart that. So that makes sense to me as well. And this kind of gradual thing here, because this is about, making sure you're timing your glides and your jumps. So all these parts make sense to me. And away we go.
Yep. So I think in this case, I'm going to say fully aligned. I think we are there.
However, this bit feels a bit awkward because A, you have to look around to get it, and B, it's kind of still tutorial, and this is it's become less aligned with play because it's more here's some more information. It doesn't feel hierarchical, and it relates to the jumping and the boost and the flight boosting and movement. So it's a bit.
You don't have to practice it. While it's there just hanging in the back. Yeah, I agree with you. That's awkward, and it's not where it needs to be in terms of practicing those skills or forcing the player to practice the skills when they need it.
On the other hand, I like the fact that it then reuses the text hanging in space as your time starts when you pass this text. That part I think is quite good because that feels like the text hanging in space is fully integrated into the actual game. Absolutely. Can you get to the end of this, and then can we try to go to the best, highest level that you can possibly get to? This is the highest level. There is this one level.
Okay. So let's talk about pacing then, since we've seen both the tutorial now and this level. So there's definitely some pacing in that tension rises over time. Clearly, through just the paths and their intricacies. Does it rise over time in a coherent pattern?
So, from speaking to the designers, one of the things that they kind of didn't recognize so much when they were working in the physics was that when you have uphill things, your speed slightly decreases because of gravity. And I do think that means that the pace at, for example, the start of this level, where you're flying past numbers of platforms and zooming over them, and then this sort of from here on where it gets a little bit more ponderous about trying to get up these hills and navigate them, does mess with the pacing a bit to me.
I think so too. So I do think that there's, how about this? I think there is very clearly tension rising over time.
Mm-hmm. Because time's running out.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that I can never make that jump, just that's not a them thing, that's a me thing. That just frustrates me. I want that jump. I want to get that jump so badly.
All right, then. I think we've actually walked through this game and gone through all of the criteria.
Great.
Thank you for that. Let's move on to our next game.
Good job, guys. Really, really fun to play. Really enjoy falling through space. Okay, here we have our next game, Tricky Trains, Tricky Tracks.
I score, start, and an exit, huh?
Uh-huh.
I'd rather not exit. Let's do one of the others.
Absolutely. We don't need to immediately exit. We can do one of the others. Okay. I don't know if you can hear the sound, but it had a kind of fun, chill, and indeed the soundtrack here is like a chill kind of, how would I describe it? Lo-fi beats to chill, study, relax to. So it kind of prepares me for a gentle, puzzling adventure. I was told to click and drag my train to a station, and now I'm being told to click and drag my train away again.
Why did you go there, though? Why didn't you just go straight?
I I can look at my trains from many angles, and similarly I can use my... Oh, I can scroll my mouse wheel to zoom in and out. That makes more sense. Okay. And it waited until those things were away before I went. So that had like a countdown timer, and now it's counting up. And I assume I need to click and drag this guy into here, but if I don't, I kind of want to see what happens. Oh, he's just going to leave. Fair enough. Didn't like that. Oh, I'm minus £100 now.
Now that cost you. Oh, and that cost you as well.
Indeed, that cost me 2 lives remaining. 3.
What is special in that circle that means we get money or money good?
So trains which exceed your platform capacity will only partially be offloaded. So I think that must be my platform.
That is and there's offloading happening. Okay.
So what's happening there is it's offloading, and this is coming to a time. And now I kind of want to show you what happened. Now let's see what happens if I do this.
Oh!
Train crash.
I kind of enjoyed that. Let's have another train crash.
But it's so dangerous. I'm going to do it again, though. I am absolutely going to do it again. It doesn't cost money for my trains, but it does take my lives away.
It costs lives. Okay.
It costs lives, literal lives. So if I wait for these guys to fully offload and then come here, then this is already into overtime when it's building back up. But I think if I time this just right, I can, then everybody gets maximum train to maximum time. Oh no! But then I do that.
Yeah. Oh no! Now there's a
double explosion. Oopsie.
Oops, yes.
Lives remaining is 0.
But now something's
still going.
Bug.
Oh, it's slowly becoming nighttime.
Somehow you still have 470 pounds, even though you've crashed like 5 trains.
I know. But to be fair, that is about the amount of money that the National Rail Service has. So that seems accurate.
Accurate, yes.
I do like that it's we've got a day to night cycle coming here. Evening is growing. So I've been told that my long trains only partially offload, but they seem to be doing okay. Oh, don't explode. My bad. Yeah. So I think I'm being told that was a bad training. Bad train signaler fired. Wow.
Oh, I'm so
Series of errors, disruptions for passengers, incidents, misrouting trains, near misses on the tracks. Wow, look at the terrible explosion. They should feel ashamed.
You know what? I just want to say, like, this is taking that information design like to a whole new level. It is simplistic. It is actually just so impactful, right? This is impactful.
I have absolutely no problem with like with like a low poly information design when they integrate these kinds of elements. It's very fun. It feels very responsive. It makes play feel meaningful. I'm a big fan of that element for sure.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the audio still. So I got so absorbed into the play and watching. There's nice music.
Yes, there's nice music. There was explosion noises when my trains collided. There was a little noise of money, I'm pretty sure, like a clinking coin noise when I successfully got my trains a-going.
Yeah. So I actually think that we are heading up into that impactful category, and really a lot of it's due to that, just the thoughtfulness of how they all go. Even the leaderboard looks like it was part of the railway.
Yes, I really like how they've integrated that. Like these kinds of things where these look like train platforms, very cool. The sort of almost National Rail-esque looking bits of interface design are very pleasant. Big fan of those bits in terms of look. Really great. And look how nice and smoothly these train movements here. It's very sweet.
So mechanics. Let's talk about mechanics while we're here. You start us on, and we can keep going. You kept the money from the last time. Look at that.
That's nice.
But you don't have any lives.
Still no lives though.
Bit of a bug, I think.
Ooh, yeah, it's possible.
Right. Yeah. So we've seen a little bug. Mechanics. You can move a train to a station. You can move a train straight to its exit tunnel. You can offload a train fully, partially. Yeah. So, are there any other mechanics that we're seeing in this, or have seen?
Not that I can see. I'm moving my trains. My trains are coming in. My trains are going out. Once you kind of get the hang of timing it so that you don't cause a crash and you get like maximum train movement, I sort of feel like that's you are now good at playing the game.
Yeah. We seem to be. How about this? There seems possibly a mechanic missing here in that we can destroy lives, or lives, but we have no way of gaining them back. We can't pay a Tory to ignore all of our mistakes and give us new life in our privatized land. So the question becomes so is there a missing mechanic there? Because now that we're down lives, or is that a bug? I'm really not sure what that one is. Yeah. So I'm seeing kind of fewer mechanics in this case. The controls seem usable.
The controls seem usable. And also these high scores, I don't know what these really refer to, I have to say. Is it number of trains that I've moved through my thing? It's not to do with money. So I'm not quite sure what the score is, and I don't think it tracks this. Like, if it's number of trains you move through, it doesn't appear to visually track that as you play. Yes.
So in that case, we're not really sure what kind of the goals, risks, reward here are, right? So there's a bit of incoherence there in that, so money is very clear. As you move, there's money, and having trains slam into each other loses lives. But what's there's, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if there's the goal, risk, reward is kind of limited in this case, because you could just move a train on. And so what? And then how does that relate to the leaderboard?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think playable in terms of meaningful plays, fewer mechanics, the controls are usable, there is a bug.
Upgrade my platforms.
Oh,
this is new. I can now add more passenger. But that did in no way pause the game, so I have annoyed everybody by doing that. I have to say, I do not know what that is. Oh, heaven's sake, just crashing my trains.
Yeah, it took a lot of your money away. It did.
It did.
But what did it do there? So that might be a mechanic that is extra, but I'm still not entirely sure that it's either a bug or it's a full.
Yeah, I've definitely spent my money on upgrading my platform now.
Yeah.
You may need to purchase a new platform to offload some trains. If you do not offload a train, you pay a penalty. Oh, and then there's some other stuff here, but it's kind of hidden. Coal container. Okay. Has this gotten longer to you? Yes, it has. My platform's longer now.
It has. And now we have a different choice. So there are more mechanics here that we're finding, right? So there's now coal, and they have a different price than, I forgot what the other thing was in there. Good job.
Yeah. No more random train deaths for me.
Yes. Although you still have 0 lives.
I still have 0 lives remaining, and it does just continue to tally up from the same numbers as before. So I do think that that's a bug, because
What if the end one next time, instead of offloading it, like offload this one, but the next one just sends straight away and see what happens to your...
Oh, it's not very happy.
Yeah, so there's a fine. Okay,
Yeah,
so that might work.
Missing the station.
Yeah. Okay.
These kinds of like timer
pacing-wise,
things as well. I sort of wish they had a slightly different thing in how they track these, because like, just because the timer and the people seems to be the same kind of tracker, just in a different color, and it's quite abstracted from the idea of offloading people to me. I love how as time goes by the shadows change. I really feel like it's a busy day in the life of a train conductor.
Until you're fired.
Until I'm fired, which I will be. I'm going to upgrade my platforms again. Oh, okay. New container coal. I did something. Oh dear. They're gonna be mad. I'm not sure what that did. It was something. It made a sound when I clicked it, as if it had achieved something.
Something there, huh?
Something.
Is tension rising over time in this case? I feel like we're kind of flat in some...
I kind of would agree with that. I feel like now that I've got the hang of how... Oh, it's because I haven't got enough money. It made a noise that I didn't get to do it. Okay, I've just got to make some more money, and then I'll buy some coal.
Yeah, that's everybody's goal. I need to make money to buy some coal.
To make money to buy coal. To make money to buy coal. Which you know, that is how games be. But yeah, as you say, now that I've kind of got the hang of moving things about, moving my trains, let's upgrade this thing. Okay, oh, there we go. I've got one for people, and one for coal.
Oh.
Okay. Now we're seeing some more game here.
But does anything actually really change? The trains are they still going to come at the same pace? Has it made it any different or easier?
It has actually made it easier, because now I don't have to worry about my trains colliding.
Yeah.
My platforms
now, if anything,
quite long.
The pacing, I'm not sure this is helping the pacing at all, right? Because, yeah, it still feels kind of flat. You could make choices.
I'm making money more quickly, which is nice.
That's lovely. That's everybody's goal.
I'm interested to see if that affects, buying the next thing, upgrading my platforms, and how many trains I can move through my platforms, to see if that takes if that's the high score. Because as I say, I don't know how many trains I've moved here.
Let's go talk about that. Well, we can remember the tutorial,
I can play it again if you like.
When we can play it again.
I may need to try and exit. I may need to exit out to make that happen, but we shall see. I have got quite a bit of money now to see if there's anything else I can buy.
Don't exit yet anything. Let's skip over the tutorial. Let's talk about core dynamic while you're playing in the more advanced level. So you just get more platforms.
I got more platforms for more people.
Yep. And
I'm developing a progressively more and more advanced train depot here.
Yes, but in some ways this is not getting any more difficult, because the trains are coming in at a kind of chill pace.
Yeah, the trains are pretty chill. There's not really a number of trains waiting or incentive to get them out of your platforms once they've come in, beyond just timing it.
Yep. So what do we think the core dynamic of this one is?
What do they think the core dynamic of this one is?
Yeah, they think the core dynamic is spatial reasoning.
I mean, I've collided some trains because they was trying to get things to occupy the same space at the same time, so... I can see their side here.
Correctly routing the trains under pressure is where they're going for with this. So let's do a thought exercise and say, what would you change in this game to make it a really core spatial reasoning game? I would say that one thing you could do in this game to make it like a real spatial reasoning game is you can have multiple trains coming in. So instead of having just one coming in at the side, you have multiple tracks coming in and crossing each other, and you've got to, and they all come at a certain rate. So you are not dragging and dropping like this, but they're all moving their own volition at the same rate, and you've got to click where where they go, so that they don't collide and they get to the right platform. So that would make this a spatial reasoning game, keeping everything else about the same. What if we wanted to make this? So in some ways, there's like a bit of resource management in this game.
I feel like if this game pushed itself, it would be if this game would push a little bit in a different direction, it could be a really fun resource management game in terms of managing space, money, those items.
And what would we want to do to kind of really bring home that? So in that case, exactly what you said before in terms of just information management would change this. So like knowing how many trains were waiting, possibly seeing how many coals or people, and then making you only being able to buy at certain points. Like, hey, the railroad auction is happening. Now you could buy a platform, right? And knowing that there's only a certain number of trains of each type that could get you certain parts of your platform or something like that. That would make it a real resource management game. Okay, so I think in this case, there's been an attempt at a core dynamic, but I don't think it's supported well by the primary mechanics in this case.
I would agree with that. I don't feel like I'm under a lot of pressure is the thing. To get these trains a moving and a going.
Yeah, and nor are you struggling in terms of like a puzzle for like spatial needs.
There does seem to be. I'm sort of, I'm still, in the experimenting to see what the various coal versus people things do, and I'm not really struggling to make space for them as much as I feel like I should be at this point. It's not becoming more frantic.
Yes, I agree with you completely. Okay, so let's actually, while you do this, we're going to do feedback, and then we're going to go back and play the tutorial level, okay?
Okay.
So, feedback that they were given was how they explain the game to players. So, the use of the signaling mechanic was not immediately obvious to players, so they added a virtual cursor, which demonstrated the signaling. I think this goes back to that tutorial level, and I do remember that part. They also added short toast messages at the key points to encourage a player to interact with the construction system within the game. Okay, good. Some other things they had in their first feedback was to focus on the core dynamic and to ensure that if there were any secondary dynamics, they were supporting that core dynamic. So they tweaked the timing and penalties to ensure that in order to succeed in the secondary survival dynamic, the player must be successful in the core spatial reasoning dynamic. I think that one is had limited success, really. So another feedback was the lack of driving force for a player who wants to continue replaying the game. So they have a local high score table to the main menu. This is a chart of the number of trains a player was able to signal before they ran out of lives. So that number on that leaderboard that you were not sure of, it was the number of trains. And then during later playtesting, they found that their pacing was slower than intended, which caused the player to lose interest. So what they did is they made iterative tweaks to the internal mathematics so they could change the train generation. So from that, the other part was a lack of sensory feedback. So they added multiple sound effects to the gameplay, which I think they did.
Yeah, they've done that successfully. There's some lovely sound effects for the various things. There's a little sound effect to tell you run out of time. There's a little one for the explosion for running your trains in together. There's ones to let you know if you've built or changed things.
Yeah. So it's really interesting in all the feedback they've done. I mean, a lot of them have been feedback that have made changes but limited success. All the way through, feedback was addressed and changes were successful. And there's some in both of those camps. So we're going to end up, I think, kind of right in the middle.
Yeah, I would say that. There might be a little bump here because I don't think I can load the tutorial without exiting and re-entering, so I'm going to do that now.
Okay. Have a little startup here. I guess there's blank space. We just up that.
Let me just double check that is. I like this little train cursor as well. That's rather sweet.
Yes.
I'm just going to double check that is recording. Yep. Okay, here we go. This is our tutorial checker. Here's my train. All trains are here.
Yep. So, in fact, that was a part of the feedback that they very carefully did. We have WASD. Yep, good.
So the WASD is here, and all of this is a thing. But I gotta say, I never use it again.
Oh, yep, agreed. All right. What else do they want to show us? We buzzed through this.
Yep. So we do this bit. Here we go. Trains which exceed your platform capacity will only partially offloaded. But that isn't demonstrated yet.
They tell us, but they don't show.
So this might be one where that happens. But again, like, I don't feel, as you say, I've been told that, and it looks like it's a bit big, but I am not shown that because it still is a green ring that slowly depletes.
In this case, I really feel in these tutorials, we're getting a gradual exploration of gameplay and controls, very much. But, and it's revealed as we play, but it's not necessarily aligned with play. So like that WASD bit, the fact that the platform is slow, we're being told, but we're not finding it out through exciting play.
And I wonder now, upgrade your platforms in the menu. Did that upgrade my platform?
I don't see that it did update the platform in any way.
The other thing there is that when you go to upgrade things, it doesn't pause the timer. I assume that meant the passenger meant to be, but maybe not. Or maybe I just don't have the cache yet.
No, you have the cache for that.
Aha! Now I've made it bigger, surely. Oh dear. If you do not offload a train, you get a penalty. You pay a penalty. Okay. Oh, I can click those to make them go away. Okay, good.
And this time the platform is definitely bigger. So, so I think in this case we've seen now the whole game, and I think in general it's a very nice game. I think it there's a little bit of muddling in terms of the pacing and kind of that's the risks. Really, what are the risks in this game?
I did notice that as I've played the game for longer and longer, the timer on how long the trains were willing to wait did get shorter.
Yes.
But then that became a game of click more accurately to pull them into the platform more accurately, which doesn't feel the same as, a spatial reasoning / survival game per se. So that was Tricky Tracks, our final game for batch 7. A very pleasant game, really enjoyed the aesthetic. Thank you so much, guys. Age, anything you wanted to add?
No, I really loved the visualizations. It was really well done graphically.
Yeah, and what a fun thing with the newspaper. I love that bit. All right,
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Catch you all soon.